What is up, people? Welcome back. Long time no see. I know it's been a really long time since I've last come and met you guys, but I'm here finally, guys. I hope all of you guys are doing good, taking care of yourself. I hope you had a fantastic week last week that we had. So, anyways, welcome. My name is Anoop, and we are here to talk about something very interesting today. We are not going to talk about something related to our CBSE syllabus that we generally do. Today, we're going to talk about something that we do in our day-to-day life. We are going to understand why air conditioners release water. Very interesting topic. Stay till the end. And also, guys, let me know in the comment section what is the next topic that you guys want. Anything that you can think of, anything that is there. Maybe it could be, how does a microwave oven work, or whatever it is in your real life. How does a satellite TV work? How does your GPS work? Let me know in the comment section so that I'll pick up the best topic out of that, and then we'll do that in the next session. All right. So, anyways, guys, with that said, without wasting any more time, let me introduce myself. My name is Anoop. I'm a master teacher of physics here at Vedantu. I am an aerospace engineer by profession. I've taught and mentored thousands of kids all over the country. I love everything about physics. So I'm here to teach you some physics. All right. So that's it, people. Let us start today's session with a very simple riddle. The riddle for today is this. All right. Now I want everyone to answer it honestly in the comment section. Now again, guys, be honest. It's more important that you're honest to yourself than to Google it and let me know what is the answer. All right. The question is this though. What is greater than God? More evil than devil? The poor have it, the rich need it, and if you eat it, you'll die. What is it? Let me know what is the answer in the comment section. I'll tell you the answer toward the end of the session, but I want everyone to try out this riddle. Let me know, be honest. Let me know what is the answer in the comment section. Alright? So with that said, guys, let's begin today's session. Why do ACs release water? First of all, guys, an AC producing water is a part of it. It is actually meant to happen. It's a part of the cooling process. Now, what does AC do? It basically keeps your room cool. It's actually a part of it. First of all, you have to understand that it's not like it's defective. It is actually a part of it. It is meant to happen that way. So whatever water is released is generally released from the back. So if you have ever seen an AC, you've probably seen some sort of some sort of box that is protruding outwards. So over there at the back you have something called as a drain hole. So through the drain hole the water basically comes out. Generally, so again, it is to make sure that the water does not fall into your room or your hall or in your bedroom. They've made sure that the mechanism is such a way that the water is being released from the back of it. So you have this dabba at the back through which the water would come out through the drain hole. So it's actually a part of it. First of all, you have to understand it's a part of it. Now, the question is, guys, why? Why is it a part of it? Let's understand that. Is it that we are pouring water into it? No. So what makes, or from where does this water suddenly appear? Let's talk about that. So here's the thing, guys. If you've ever opened up an AC before, or if you want to understand what it's really like, this is the simple mechanism. So you have a certain set of coil running at the front and at the back. So through the coil you have the refrigerant running through it. So refrigerant is some sort of chemical which basically is responsive. It basically cools down and basically becomes a gas, and again cools down and forms to a liquid. So basically this interchange is constantly happening to this refrigerant that is running through this coil. So this coil, you can see this coil, right? It's going in the front as well as the back. This coil in the front is called as the evaporator. The one that you see in the front, right? This is called as the evaporator. The one at the back is called as a condenser coil. That is called as a condenser. This is called as the evaporator. And with both the sides, in the front also you have a tiny little fan. It's not exactly a fan. You have a rotor, and in the back also you have a fan, right? Now here's the thing, guys. The basic mechanism is very simple. The basic mechanism is that you have to keep the condenser coil hotter than the surrounding. Again, the condenser should be much more hotter than what is the surrounding temperature. The evaporator, on the other hand, has to be much more cooler than the surrounding. This is the only funda. Or whatever is there that you see is just to achieve this. Whatever the compressor, the blower, the expansion valve, all of these different parts is only put in to achieve this. You have to keep the condenser coil cold, hotter, and the evaporator coil as cool as possible, cooler than the surrounding especially. So here's what happens, guys. The compressor that is there will compress the refrigerant. It will compress it. All right, what to say? You increase the pressure as well as the temperature. So the condenser, your refrigerant. Sorry, the refrigerant right now is very hot. All right, it has very high pressure and it's very hot. So it is running through this condenser coil. As it is running through the condenser coil, remember guys, heat always flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. Simple funda, we have already seen that. So what happens is that the heat from the condenser is lost. The hot air, basically what happens is that the heat is lost. Because why? Because the condenser is much more hotter than the surrounding, and heat always flows from high temperature to low temperature. And this fan that is there will make the process much more faster. So it is, it is slowly starting to lose some heat energy, and it is slowly starting to cool down. Once it reaches this expansion valve that you see over here, what happens is that all that all that heat, all that temperature, all that pressure that is there is slowly released out. So what happens is that now the refrigerant has become cool. All right, so all this while the refrigerant was hot, once it reaches the expansion valve, what happens is that it becomes very cool. Now the one that is entering, the refrigerant that is entering into the evaporator is much more cooler. In the condenser, the refrigerant is hot. Alright, I hope you guys are able to understand. I know that there's a lot of technicalities going on, but keep it very simple. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. The condenser is hot. Alright, so the condenser, the whole point of having the condenser is to keep the refrigerant as hot as possible, so you can release the heat. As it enters into the expansion valve, what happens is that it becomes much more cooler, and now the cold refrigerant enters into the evaporator. And as it is flowing through the evaporator, what happens is that the air around the evaporator that is there will release the heat, because obviously heat flows from hot to cold. So it will basically absorb the heat. The evaporator will absorb the heat and keep the air cool. And this, my friends, is how the whole mechanism works. Simple, as simple as that. So the blower will basically ensure that the air is getting thrown out. You can see that, right? When you're standing under the AC, you get this you get the flush of air that is coming towards you. So that is done with the help of the blower. Again, why is that happening is because the air is releasing the heat energy. It's not that the air is the evaporator is what to say, it is what to say, it is giving out heat, but rather what's happening is that the air is giving out heat because the evaporator is much more cooler, and the evaporator absorbs the heat and again goes into the compressor where it becomes much more hotter, again goes into the condenser where it releases the heat, and the whole process again continues. And this, my friends, is how the AC works. Now here's what happens, people. Let's understand how the water comes. I didn't talk about the water also as well. See guys, the air around this evaporator is hot. Alright, so as it comes in contact with the evaporator, what happens is that it will release the heat. It will release the heat and the evaporator will absorb it. Now this air contains water vapor, because air is, water vapor is a part of it. It contains, air is a mixture of several things. So it also contains water vapor. So what would happen is that as this air is releasing the heat, it starts to condense. It starts to condense because there is water vapor present, so it starts to condense. And when that condensation happens, that is when the water is produced. So what is happening is that the air contains this water vapor, which is what is getting condensed, and that is what is dripping down as water. Now here's the thing, people. Again, some part of this the water that is there is actually used to keep the air warm. All right, air cool. The air around is much more cooler because of the water that is present. But the rest of it is released out through the drain. I talked about the drain in the start, right? So through the drain, the rest of the water basically comes out. That's it. All right, this is how, guys, it works. Now the question is it really a good process? Like, is it needed for the AC to release water? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? The answer is, guys, yes, it is. Because if it is not releasing water, that means that the water is getting accumulated somewhere else, or there is something possibly wrong with your AC, because of which the cooling effect might not be experienced. Alright, guys. And that, my friends, is the topic for today. I hope you guys were able to understand everything. Now, before we get into before I tell you the answer for the riddle as well, guys, I also have something important to tell you guys about the Vedantu's improvement promise. So guys, a lot of you guys here have a lot of problems when it comes to studies, especially during this pandemic time. It's become much more harder for you to understand certain concepts. Maybe you're getting your doubts cleared has become a problem. What if the problem is Vedantu has a solution for you guys? Let me tell you about Vedantu's improvement promise. Vedantu's improvement promise says that if you enroll into the long-term course and you're not seeing any improvement in your score, if that is the case, people, you people can claim the complete money back if there is no improvement in your score. But here's the thing, guys, you must attend the sessions. That's very important. You must attend the sessions, you must attend the tests. If you're doing all of this, we are giving you the guarantee that yes, for sure your scores would improve. Let me tell you what are the advantages of Vedantu. First of all, guys, you have unlimited live sessions with amazing levels of quizzes, which will definitely help you to understand the concept better and also give you a chance to compete with your friends and understand what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. With this, people, every single session is recorded, so you can watch the replay anytime, anywhere. And the replays are also such a way that you can take the quizzes while watching the replay. Yes, people. And yes, you can download all the handwritten notes. Every single thing is downloadable. You can get all your doubts cleared inside the class itself with the help of the class teacher and the master teacher, who will ensure that every single doubt of yours is cleared. So how do you enroll into the course? Very simple, people. Go to the description of this video. When you click on the description, you would be able to see the link, and if you click on that link, people, it will directly take you to the Vedantu's website, where you can see all the details that you need and see it for yourself. All the testimonies, everything that you need would be right there. Unfortunately, I've not opened it up. My net is a little slow, so I'm just going to quickly take you through the slides there is. So there are three different types of courses that is offered by Vedantu. We have Vedantu Lite, Vedantu Classic, and Vedantu Pro Plus. Now, I'm not going to talk about all the three, but I'm just going to tell you in general. Vedantu Lite is everything that you need. You have live interactive sessions, you have test series and assignments, you have your doubt solving inside the class, but unfortunately, there's no doubt solving outside the class. But there is doubt solving inside the class. The 1 month program for this is around 3,400 rupees. But again, guys, if you use the link that is given in the description, you would get a discount on that, and the price would actually come down to 3,060 rupees. And the year-long program for that is 32,999, but after the coupon code, yeah, it'll be around 29,699. Again, the coupon code is already applied, so you don't have to worry about it. Just click on that link and enroll into the courses. Vedantu Classic, on the other hand, the advantage is that you get doubt solving outside the class also, so the price is a little different. And Vedantu Pro Plus, you also have something called as a personal mentor, who will ensure that he's with you from the start until the end. So the personal mentor is a person of contact who will basically ensure that all of your doubts are cleared. You'll have one-to-one sessions with that person. He'll be motivating you. He'll be with you from the start until the end. All right, so those are the courses, guys. Again, the link is given in the description, and yes, I've already told you about Vedantu's improvement promise as well, which tells you that if you don't see any improvement in your scores, you can claim your money back. And yes, guys, with that said, these are all the dates that the batches are starting. Again, some of the dates, some of the batches have already started. But again, it's not too late, people, because you can still enroll into those batches because it has just started. So you'll not be missing out on much. Anyways, with that said, here is the riddle, the answer for the riddle as well, guys. The answer for this riddle: what is greater than God, more evil than devil? The poor have it, the rich need it, and if you eat it, you'll die. What is the answer for that riddle? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the answer is, people, it is Mr. Nothing. Yes, there is nothing greater than God. There's nothing more evil than devil. There's poor have nothing, the rich need nothing, and if you eat nothing, you'll end up dying. That's it, people. Thanks a lot for joining. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also, guys, let me know in the comment section what was it about this session that you found good? What is the thing about the session that you felt bad about or you were not able to understand? And also let me know, guys, what next topic do you guys want me to talk about? All right, and I'll pick up the best comment, I'll pick up the best topic out of that, and we'll make a video on that. All right, so until the next time we meet, people, thanks a lot for joining. Catch you guys in the next session. Until then, bye bye, adios, people. Take care.